I request you to, can you please introduce about yourself? What are your experience towards the IT industry and what are your expectations towards the Docker and Kubernetes sessions? Yeah, can you please introduce about yourself? Is Karthik there? Shadab Ali?
Hey, hello Chaitanya. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
Yeah, so hi, myself Shadab. I basically working in IT organization from the past 8 years. I have around 8.6 of experience. Out of that, I have around 4.5 years experience in the DevOps domain.
okay,
With this training, I'm just aiming to get some more knowledge on the Docker and the Kubernetes, how to create a Docker file and how to build the application with the Dockers to
okay,
understand the thing about the Kubernetes, how to create the pods and all everything.
good. So your expectations are like you spend like Docker. Okay, so that's fine. So yeah, so let me go ahead into the concept of making you understand about Docker. Before I go into the Docker and Kubernetes, whenever we are working with any application, how this application will be, I mean, why we need to work with the application, for what is the necessity of creating the application? Can you tell me what is the necessity of creating the application? So the IT industry will be completely dependent on the applications only. So my first question is why we want to create the applications, why we need to create the applications, what is the necessity?
What I understand, Chaitanya, is application basically offer a platform to interact, to provide an interaction to the user to access some business or some products of the particular organization.
Exactly. So if you see in the entire world, there are two types of companies are available. Types of companies are. One is the IT company, and the other one is the non-IT company. These are the two major companies. Okay, two major stream of companies are there. So one is the either it is IT or else there will be a non-IT company is there. Okay, non-IT means like bank sectors, hospitals, entertainment sector, as well as what else I can say, like any another. So like tourism, everything will come under the non-IT. So now, whoever are the IT employees are there, what is their work? So the IT employees basically learn the IT concepts, information technology concepts like development, testing, and then deployment, okay, application deployment, like that. We will be product management. So these are all the things that we will be learning out. Okay, under that you will be having several tools like front end tools, back end tools, databases, and then you are having testing tools, code quality testing, code quality analysis, and then we will be working on to the DevOps like Git, the Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, like that. There are so many tools are available in the IT market. Among those, some people are professionalized on some tools and some people are professionalized on some tools, depending on the, we are going to divide the category. So when we come to the non-IT sector, in the non-IT sector, you will be having either the people who doesn't know about creating the application. So using the application, they know about how to use the application. For example, there is a bank employee. For a bank employee, he knows how to use the tally application, but he don't know how to create the accountants. Actually, accountant doesn't know how to create the tally application, but they know how to use the tally application. So the non-IT sector people knows how to use the applications that are created by the IT people. So now, for example, there is a bank, or else there might be a medical hospital is there. Basically, let us take a bank is there. Bank, or else there is an e-commerce website is there. So now what happens now if I want to start current generation, at present the current generation, the marketing, the entire marketing was happening through the websites only. Without website, the marketing was not happening. So in the same manner, here, whatever the bank and e-commerce websites that you are doing the marketing to the through these different types of applications. So now, what bank thought here is, or else the e-commerce, whoever or the company, whichever the company belongs to. So they thought that why we have to go manual marketing? Why can't I go through internet? Okay, so then they have announced a website. So this is our website where we are having so many products are available. So to develop that website, what this e-commerce people will do is they will come and talk to an IT company. And when they come and talk to the IT company, now what IT company will do? In IT company, you will be having several teams and team managers will be there. So the development team president or as the developers, whoever are the managers are there, all the managers will assemble and they will have a communication with the e-commerce team, who are the officials, those who come from the e-commerce. So these developers will communicate with them and they will understand what is the requirement. So what is the requirement of your application? Why you want this application? So I want the application for so and so purpose. So the e-commerce website team will say that to the developers, I want the application for so and so purpose. These are the requirements. They will completely tell the requirements over here. So then what developers will do here is developers will start analyzing whatever the user requirements are there and they will start creating the application. So where they will start creating the application, they will start creating their application in their laptops. So the laptop environment is totally Windows environment. In the Windows environment, they will create the application. Okay, they are going to create the application. So once the application is created, now what they will do, they will test the application or there are any bugs related or manual testing, unit testing, everything will be done. So once it is done, now what they are going to do for us, they will hand over the application for the deployment to, or else I will call them as ops team. Okay, ops team, they will hand over the applications to the operations team. Now what they have to do, they have to deploy this application on a server. So there will be multiple levels of servers will be the development server, testing server, and as well as production server like that. So when the developers hand over the application to the operations team, they have to deploy this application on the server, whatever the development server or else any other server. Now, what is going to happen here? The servers, major number of companies are using the Linux servers. Here, when the developer is developing, where he is developing on the Windows environment. And when he is submitting the application is should be running on the environment called as Linux. Now, can you tell me whether this application will properly work? Whatever the application that is given by the developer, when that application is deployed onto the server, the Linux server, will that application will run properly? If the entire configurations are properly done, then it will be done. But what happens in the server? So if already we are having some more applications, so already I am having a few applications running on this server, and they have the old dependencies, and this application is running with the latest dependency. What is going to happen? Have you ever faced this type of situation? Do you understand my question here? Do you understand my question?
Yes, Chaitanya.
What happens? Will the application will run? Whatever the latest application given by the developer, will the application will run? Will be installed, will be started? What is going to happen? Simple. For example, you are habituated to drive a manual car. Okay, you are habituated to drive a manual car from past 5-6 years. Okay, if I hand over an automatic car, then what happens? You will be adjusted, but it is going to take time to adjust for that configuration, right? The same manner here also, whenever the application that is created on Windows Server, if this application has to run on the Linux machine, the environment will be completely different. Simple. You are staying in your home up to engineering. You stayed in your home. You study a lot of things, and you understand so many things, and you are habituated to stay in home. Suddenly, you got a job, and now you need to move to a hostel. Is it possible to adjust for that environment? Suddenly, if you are requested to join in a hostel and to stay there for a couple of months, so what is your thought on that? How you are going to face that? Is it possible for you to stay inside the hostel for a couple of months? You are habituated for your home environment. I'm asking a question to you. Can you please respond?
Yeah, we'll need to make some adjustment over there, I think.
One thing I just want to clarify you. So my sessions is not like any another sessions. Okay. I every minute by minute, second by second, or else at least every 5 minutes, I will ask you certain questions. I will ask you. I will try to interact with. If you want to sit calmly and just want to listen to the lecture, and if you want to sit calmly and sleep, this is not the right place for you to join. So
Understand.
my sessions will be completely an interactive sessions. We will have some interactions. We will, so I will also crack some jokes, but what level I have to crack, I will do that. But the point is, I want you more interactive, the technical aspect, so that it will be more live. Okay, so then if you want to sit calmly and listen, why you have to join in this course? You can simply go through the YouTube. In YouTube, there are so many videos over there. So if it is a live, I want you to interact with. Okay, right. So now what we are discussing, yeah. So the application related information. So this application will not work for properly in the Linux operating system. So the first and foremost thing is how these applications, how these servers are created, and how this why these applications are not running. So this is all we have to understand. The first and foremost thing is whenever we are working on an application, what actually developers will do? Developers will try to create some dependencies depending on the framework and depending on the application creation. They will create all the required resources in their computer. For example, if you want to cook a beautiful dish, okay, so you are inviting your friends, your colleagues to your home, and you want to cook certain beautiful tasty dish for them. So now what you will do, in general, the process is very simple. 2 to 4 ingredients are sufficient to cook that food. But you want to make sure that that particular dish should be more and more designed, and it should be more like what I can say, the texture and the smell and the food taste should be more enhanced the way you want to cook that dish. So what you will do, you will add some more ingredients which will make the dish complete. Okay, so whatever the dish that you are preparing, so if you are preparing in a normal way, that will be in a generalized dish. So now when you add something special ingredients into that, then that dish will look so elegant and so tasteful, and so order will be very good. So now what happens, the same way whenever you are creating an application, you want to make sure that the application will have certain security features, and you want to remove all the vulnerabilities, and you want to make that application more and more bug free. So one thing is very common, without bugs no single application will be launched in the production. So anyway, you will have a bug. Okay. But you want to make sure that the application will be mostly bug free. So to do that, what we are going to do, we will be including some of the plugins, we will be including some of the dependencies files into that particular application. Now, what is going to happen? The application will be running. When the application is running, that is fine. The application is running and we don't have any problem, and we are preparing that application in the Windows environment. You are preparing a dish in your home, same like you are preparing the application of the Windows environment, adding certain files, certain dependencies, and all the things. Now, your friend came to you. Your friend came to you and asked that whatever the dish that you have prepared, whatever the food that you have prepared, that is fantastic. I like the taste. I like the texture. So it is very good. I want to try it in my home. So now what you will do, you will give the recipe. will just give the recipe. These are the ingredients that you have to use, and you can cook the food. So you are giving the recipe to him. So now when he tries in his home, the food will be in a different texture and different smell and different taste. Why? Because the same cannot be replicated in his home. Why? Because he might be using some ingredients, some extra amount of ingredients he might be using. Some ingredients will be less amount of ingredients he will be using. Just to give the recipe only. Use these ingredients. You did not specify how much amount of ingredients you have to use. What are the different ingredients that you have to use to cook the food? Step-by-step process. You did not mention that. So that's why the food, whatever he prepared, will not come as it is what you have prepared. So then he will call you and ask that. So it is not exact what you have prepared. I want you to provide me a clear picture of that particular dish. Now what you are going to do is you will take a box. In that box, you will put all the ingredients and you will clearly write a recipe. So this much amount of ingredient that you have to use, this much amount of ingredient that you have to use. Step by step process. First you have to put this, next you have to put this. Like this, you will do a complete step by step process and pack all the ingredients and recipe in a box and submit it to him. Okay, now what is going to happen? He will try to cook the food and obviously it is going to get like that. Or else what you can do here is, okay, don't try it in your home. I will pack some food for you and give it to you. So you will cook the food and give it to him to a box. So now here what is happening in the two ways, he will be able to cook the food and you will be able to give the same food to him. So in the same manner, whenever the application is working on your laptop and it is not working on the server, there might be an issue with the dependencies. So the dependencies that are running on the server is not satisfying the application dependencies. Okay. So to overcome this problem, what I want to do, I will go back to the developer and tell that. So the application is not running fine. So it might be an issue with the, what I can say, dependencies. Can you please check the dependencies and let me know about that? So again, what developer will do? Developer will try to run that application on his server, his or her server. They will submit you that no application is running fine. So this is a screenshot for you. You can please check out this and let it's running or not. Again, you will check on the server, it won't run. So again, you will report the same. So this process will be happening multiple times. Okay. So finally, the developer will tell that this late is happened because of this person, and you will blame the developer and developer will blame you. So this is a continuous process. So to overcome all these problems, whatever the problems that we are facing on the deployment level, we are introducing a new concept called as containerization. We are introducing a new concept called as containerization. Now, what is this process of containerization? Containerization is a process of packing the application and dependencies and running them in a particular component called as container. So now what I am going to do here is containerization means whatever the applications are running. So I am going to create a container. Inside this container, I will create the application and its dependencies. So simply, I will pack this container in the form of Docker image and I will submit it to the end customer. I will submit it to the operations team. When I submit as a developer, I will submit the application to the operation team. The operation team will run the same application. When the operation team runs the same container, the container will be running fine. So we don't have any problem while running. So this is what going to happen with the containerization. So containerization is a process of packing the application and its dependencies and running on a server. Sir, you said that the application is directly implemented. Now, what is the main difference between server installation and the containerized application? So in server, what is going to happen? So if you see, this is the physical server. Inside the physical server, we will be running an operating system. We will be running an operating system. Inside the operating system, we are going to run the application. So this is the server. Inside it, we will be having the OS. And inside that directly, we are going to implement the application. So whenever we are implement the application dependencies will be directly affecting to your operating system. The operating system only, the dependencies will be installed. So whenever I try to install another application, this application might not run. Why? Because already the operating system is having the older version of dependencies are there. So the new version of dependencies will not be able to, I will not be able to install on the operating system. This is the main problem. So to overcome this problem, what IT Tech Giants has done here is they developed a new concept called as virtualization. What is this virtualization? Virtualization in the sense they created, when we are having a hardware. So let us suppose this is the server hardware. On the server hardware, I am going to install an VM virtual machine or also virtualization software. Either it might be VMware or else it might be Citrix or else it might be hypervisor. I am going to install on top of that. On top of that, I am going to run the virtual machines. So this is VM1. So if you see the physical server, in a physical server, directly you are installing the operating system and you are running the application. This is causing a lot of problems. So we are eliminating this. Okay. So last 20 years, from last 25 years, we are using this virtualization concept. So here, what is going to happen? You will have the hardware. On top of that, what we are going to do, we will be installing the container application. On top of that, we will have a virtual machine created. Inside the virtual machine, I am going to run an operating system. So inside the virtual machine, I'm going to run an operating system. On top of that, I'm going to run an application. Okay, on top of that, I'm going to run the application here. Now this is the app. Now when this application is running, this is fine. Okay, so now here you are having the requested operating system. For example, you want the Ubuntu, you can install the Ubuntu directly. So now what I will do, if there is another application that is having a dependency of Windows, I will create one more virtual machine and I will run that particular application. So this virtual machine is getting the resources from these virtual machines will get the resources from the hardware. So whatever the physical hardware that you are having, so from the physical server, these virtual machines will be getting the resources. Okay, this is what going to happen. Now, in the same manner, so this is not the container application, virtualization application. Sorry, my fault. Just my application, like VMware ESXi, Citrix, hypervisor, like that. Okay, in the same manner, we are going with the Docker. So now what is happening? Previously, if you see, we will be directly installing the application on the operating system. But here what we are doing, we are dividing our hardware into some logical virtual machines. So these virtual machines will be helpful for us to run the application. But what is the main problem here is, if I want to pack that application, it is going to take a lot of time. If I want to pack the application and if I want to transfer the application from one environment to the another environment, then it is going to take a lot of time. Why? Because you will be having so many dependencies that should be packed and that should be transferred from one environment to the another environment. For example, let me ask you a question. You got a job. You are staying in your home and you got a job. And what you are doing when you got a job? So in your home, you have your specialized. You have your personal bed. You have your personal things. So you have your shirt and you have. I mean, you have your closets and everything are there. Now, if you want to move from your home to another location, are you going to carry all the tools which belongs to you, or else are you carrying only your what are the clothes that you want to carry? So, are you going to carry the bed, the TV, and everything that belongs to you, or else you are going to carry only whatever the necessities that you want? How you are going to travel if you have to travel from another location? Tell me. So you are going to carry all the all the material with you. How you are going to do that?
We will carry only the necessity item what we needed.
Okay. Thanks for at least telling me that. So you are going to carry all the necessity items. In the same manner, here also you have your application. If I want to pack the entire virtual machine, whatever the virtual machine that you are seeing over here, if I want to pack the entire virtual machine, with virtual machine, I need to pack the kernel, I need to pack the operating system, I need to pack the application dependencies and unwanted dependencies also. I have to pack it and transfer it to another environment, which is going to cause me a lot of time to transfer the data from one environment to the another environment. So to overcome all these problems, what I am going to do here is simply I am going for the containers. So now what is this containers? So this is called as software virtualization. Whatever we are discussing right now, this is called as software virtualization. Up to now, whatever you have seen, that is a hardware virtualization. Now we are going to see the software virtualization. So there will be server hardware. There will be server hardware. On top of that, we will be having an operating system, host operating system. On the top of that, we will be installing the containerized application. Either it might be Docker, Podman, any application. On top of that, we will be running the containers. Okay, Docker is a containerization carrier. It is just an engine. Okay, Docker, and you will have the operating system, and later you will have the hardware. And here we will have a container, and inside the container, the application will be running. Inside the container, we will have an application run. Okay. So this application, if this application has to run, the application need to have the resources. So now what happens? The container will communicate with the Docker, and Docker will communicate with the operating system, and the operating system will communicate with the hardware and provide the resources to your container. So this is what going to happen. So in the same, whatever happens with the virtualization, the same thing will happen with the containerization. But here we will have only the application and its dependencies only. Not even a single additional dependencies can be there inside this container. So this is a lightweight application which can be transferred instantly from one environment to the another environment. So this is called as containerization. Okay. Now, do you understand what is meant by containerization? Why we are going for the containerization starting from physical server to the containers? So any questions here?
No question from my side, Chaitanya.
Any another? Do you have any questions? Okay. So,
no, I'm good.
So now let's get started into the concept of what is a container. I don't want to discuss it right now itself. So we'll see. Okay. So now what I want to discuss here is I just want to give you the entire syllabus, and then I want to give how many days it is going to take and what is the time and everything. So let me go for this. So the syllabus of this course will be Docker and Kubernetes. The timings will be starting from 6 o'clock in the evening, most probably 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Most probably it will be 7 to 7:30 p.m. And for the syllabus will be for Docker, we will be discussing about introduction to Docker basics, where we will be discussing about Docker architecture and Docker network, Docker images, Docker volumes, and Docker compose, Docker swarm. These are the things that we are going to discuss. And in Kubernetes, we will be discussing a lot of things. Kubernetes architecture, and then workload components, and then we'll be discussing about services, ingress, probes, sidecar containers, and then we'll be discussing about advanced scheduling, and later we will be discussing about what was that? Markback, storage, Kubernetes storage, network policies. Mostly these are the things that help and GitOps. With this, we will complete the Kubernetes. So you will get the documents and videos every day. So this is about your concept of getting the training. If you have any further questions, you can ask me. Related to syllabus, related to what is your expectations, what you want to do. So if you ask me anything.
Okay, so one question, Chaitanya here. Today we joined around 7. So going forward, it will be 7 only, or it will be starting from 6 p.m.?
We will be starting from 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay, okay.
6 to 7, 7:30.
Okay.
That's the only question. Do you have any other questions related to the technicalities?
Can it be 7:30 to 9?
No, it can't be. So it's from 6 to 7:30. That's the timing that we are thinking. Okay then. So I hope I made it very clear for you. Any further things that you want to ask me, you can ask me now.
I'm good, Chaitanya. Thanks.
Tomorrow, is there any class? Hello?
Yes.
So today
Tomorrow
my
there is
first
a session.
today my first demo, so that's why I want to get more clarity.
Yeah,
So
tomorrow you will have the second demo also.
okay. Same 7 o'clock, right?
7 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine then. Okay, guys, we'll meet in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow it
Yeah.
will be 7 to 8. It won't be like 7:30. So tomorrow it will be 7 to 8.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Have a nice day and we'll meet in the
Thanks.
session.
Thanks, Chaitanya. Thank you so much.
Thank you.